what's going on, everybody? UltimatDjz here from the Teaching Trek YouTube channel and the Talking Trek podcast and the Twitching Trek Twitch channel. Here with another Teaching Trek video for you here today. And as I live and breathe at the time of taping, time is ticking away on this event store. Let's hop into the game very quickly. And we'll talk about what's in your event store. Now, guys, if you come in here, you're going to see that at the time of taping, you've only got about 36 hours left. By the time this thing comes out, probably a little around 24 hours left. And if you haven't spent your loot yet, what are you waiting on? Well, there's a couple of things. Whoop, cat's missing. There he is. There's a couple of things that you want to maybe possibly take a look at here. And we've talked about a lot of these things on our podcast and on our Twitch stream about things that are bringing players value. But one thing that we have not actually discussed in detail would be, hang on, I'm going to find it. It's under the special currencies tab. This little bucket right here, pattern buffers, all right? Now, we did a video on this here maybe a couple months ago when the holodeck was first released, but it's due for an update. So consider this your holodeck part 2, because if we pop into the game over here, okay, let's see. We come over to the holodeck, and as you can see, I'm super prepared for this video. I'm just kind of winging it because I spent a bunch of time with Echo and Rev tonight, and they're super great guys. It was a lot of fun and a huge time suck because I was planning on doing this for you many hours ago. Here, guys, inside the holodeck, shout out, guys. Love you guys. Here inside the holodeck, we're going to see that there have been some missions actually added. Now, I've not gone back and claimed any of these, but some of these were here the first time that the holodeck actually launched. For example, Discovery Part 1, that was here. TNG Part 1, TOS Part 1, Outlaws Part 1, Borg Part 1. What did all of these things point to? Well, I had shown you at the time it was a very, very ugly spreadsheet. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up here for you. It was super ugly, and it was really, really gross looking. Where are we going to find it? Probably not going to find it here. Holodeck mission repeat payouts. Here we go. See, this is what I was wanting to show to you, and man, boy, this is ugly, right? This looks ugly. Well, let's get rid of it. Bam! Gone. Because you know what? We have something better that I want to show you here tonight. And I want to shout out a fellow content creator here for Star Trek Fleet Command, Black Half Dan, and his gaming channel. As a matter of fact, you want to check him out. His link is in our description down below, who put this thing together with the help of some players, and this is phenomenal. Guys, I want to show you some of the great stuff that you're going to see here. So what we can see is that the original series, TOS Part 1, all of these are named Part 1, but what are they actually giving? What we had shown you in our Excel spreadsheet that was very, very ugly were the actual names of the missions that you can find, which then you could go into STFC.space, shout out RIP! You can go into STFC.space and walk through and see what it is that you... Look, he even linked them. Check this out. We can click on that, and it's going to open up a link. If there we go. We click on that, and it's going to bring us... Because, you know, it's working for me super well. But anyway, whatever. You could click on that in some form or fashion, and it's going to pull up the associated mission in STFC.space. But Black Half Dan didn't stop there, because he also talked about how many missions were in it, what the warp range was required for it, some of the higher power hostiles, and even rewards that we're going to talk about. And we did that on the last video. We talked about what missions might have actually been worth repeating. What I have done here is I've highlighted my personal picks. So let's go back. TOS Part 1 has been in the holodeck, and this is such a great layout. I'm going to hide the cat for just a second so you guys can see what we're talking about here. Over on the left-hand side, he talks about some of the requirements, some of the cost of the missions, but then he comes down and he talks about the rewards that were guaranteed, and moreover then, some of the rewards that did provide or present themselves with an area of choice where the missions kind of diverge from one another. This was super important to show you guys what may actually be worth actually buying into. We can see here, this is worth 1,000 pattern buffers. So if we come back into the event store in the game and we see what this would actually cost, well, let's take a look and see if it actually can be worth it. Coming over here and seeing what it's going to cost to get 1,000 of these things, it's going to cost roughly 15,000 loot. Now, if we were equating that to epic shards, for example, that would only be enough for 2 shards. 2 shards and a rare, or maybe 7 rare shards. So let's talk about TOS Part 1, and we see he's even highlighted some of the really important things here. Check this out. 10 epic TOS Kirk shards, all right? Well, with loot, now granted, he's an older officer, but with loot, that's 6,000 per shard. That would be 60,000 event store loot. Plus, you got some premium tokens, 1,000 ultra recruits, plus down in the choice area, you could actually pick up on another 400 ultras and another 600 premiums. This one is highlighted because I like this one. If you're going to actually be willing to spend some event store loot on pattern buffers to go back, and you are still working on TOS Kirk, this is a great option to repeat. For only 15,000 loot, you could hook up with 10 shards. On the other hand, we could look at TOS Part 2, which has just launched. That would be Doomsday. Let's take a look at these. A couple of speed ups, 14 G3 uncommon. Yeah. 1 ship XP, just one, not 1 million or 1 billion or 100,000, just one, and a little bit of titanium. Even under the choice rewards, you've got 500,000 titanium and a few extra G3 uncommon ore. Not anything to be super duper excited about. So you will come back and you'll see that I have not highlighted TOS Part 2. It's not one that I feel is worth going back and checking out. We take a look at Discovery, Part 1, Part 2, and Captain's Log. We'll check, see if there's anything in here. As a matter of fact, I'll move the cat over just a little bit so you guys could actually take a look and see if there's anything in here that you like. You got some speed ups. Ooh, 2-star common gas and 2-star interceptor parts, super important. Even coming down to the choice rewards, 2,500 XP, 350 ship XP. This one, no go, okay? Not worth it in the slightest. Let's check Discovery Part 2. Yuck, okay? Nothing good here. Let's check Captain's Log, just in case I might be overlooking something in the Discovery mission chain. 60 recruit tokens. Those are the standard ones, by the way. 1 4-hour peace shield. Hot diggity dog, all right? And as you'll see, nothing in Discovery is actually highlighted here. None of these missions, in my opinion, bear repeating. Going back to Outlaw Part 1, I had said originally that this could be one that you might be interested in taking a look at. Let's take a look down here. 500 premium recruit tokens. Okay, that might not be bad. You are getting about 45 G3 uncommon. A couple of faction credits in here, some independent credits. All right, so this one not overall the worst that we've seen so far. Looking at the choice rewards, G3 uncommon gas, some augment credits, probably not super important there, a reload token, another 18 independent credits. So not real big in terms of payout, not compared to what's available. Let's check out Outlaw Part 2 now, that is now available in your holodeck. And this one, if we go back and check Outlaw Part 2, costing 2,200 pattern buffers. This would be 37,000 loot. Is it worth it? Let's come in and check. We've got 800 ultra recruit tokens. That might be about, well, it's 87 G3 uncommon crystal. All right, we look and there's a few extra independent credits, a 1-day peace shield. If you're still working on rogue reputation, another 23 uncommon gas. This one not too awful bad. Still not probably something that I'm going to go absolutely hog wild about, but does contain a little bit of value. It's highlighted there as one of the better paying mission options. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit of exciting. We had the Borg Part 1, and when we come back, and even in the last video, you'll talk about the fact that we talked about the one of 11 shards, the rare officer shards, which are somewhat difficult to get in the game, 8 of those. And this mission, if you come back over here, only costing, I believe, yeah, right here, 1,000 pattern buffers. That's 15,000 loot. If you were paying rare shards, that would be enough for 7. You're getting 8. All right, and that's about it. A little bit of uncommon material. There's 800 ultra recruit tokens, which is a nice add here, okay? So this one not looking quite so bad, but taking a look at Borg Part 2, costing 2,000 pattern buffers, that would be the equivalent of 35,000 loot. Now we're talking a bunch of extra ultra recruits. There's 200 there, 400 here, so there's 600 of those. Another 5, 1 of 11 shards, 1 of 11 shards. That is... the same officer that was in the previous, 225 premium recruits, and a couple of other, look here, some uncommon crystal, some speed ups and things like that. This one not too terrible. Again, only probably super valuable for the officer shards, if I'm guessing. And then we come over to the third Borg available, 1,300 pattern buffers. That's 22,500 loot. And we come through here and we're taking a look. Lots of parts in here. Some uncommon ore, uncommon crystal, because it was being used to build the Vidar. But then we come down here. This is probably one of my favorites, guys, because we look here. We got Romulan recruit tokens. We've also got uncommon gas, uncommon ore, uncommon crystal in equal parts. Down here, 1,300 ultra recruit tokens, another 150 premium recruit tokens, and additional sources of G3 uncommon and G3 rare, all for the low price of 22,500 event store loot. This may or may not contain value to you because you are going to have to play through these things, but you are seeing now the opportunity at some of these rewards that are available if you replay some of these missions. We come back, and our last category over here is TNG. You'll notice it's not highlighted. I didn't find anything super valuable in this. We take a look over here at TNG. 400 premium recruit tokens probably highlight everything about this mission that was great. 61,000 officer XP, not a whole lot, and then 2-star common and some repair speed ups and things like that. So coming back to these pattern buffers, and if you are a newer player, or if you're a player that, for example, has not finished tiering up TOS Kirk, this is probably, I gotta be honest, one of my favorites and the best value at only 15,000 loot, going to get you 10 epic shards, but a couple of other these providing a few other areas of benefit within the game. If you were so curious and so interested about these pattern buffers, if you're looking for something to spend your last little bit of loot on and you want to come back and pick up a few shards, these are examples of some of the rewards that will translate into other rewards that may not be apparent just by looking and trying to replay some missions. There are actual event rewards inside those missions. If you have questions, and this was your August update of the holodeck, and it kind of took me by surprise because we are going to see holodeck upgrades or at least additions of content inside the holodeck with a little bit of regularity. These actually sneaking in on me this month, and we didn't talk about them when they came. But we wanted to let you know about them now before you spent that loot. And there will be other opportunities at these pattern buffers as time goes on, as well as new missions presenting themselves inside this holodeck, which was indeed the entire point, being able to go back and pick up on older pieces of content that may or may not provide value to you as a player. What do you think? Are any of these missions worth replaying for a little bit of loot? I don't know. Why don't you tell me in the section below? Leave your questions, leave your comments. We'll be happy to answer those. Please click on that subscribe while you're here. Click on the little bell. Give us a like, and share with your team. If anybody's looking for what to do with their loot here in the last final 24 hours, because you really don't have a heck of a lot of time left. So be sure to spend that loot. This is your 24-hour notice. By the time the video comes out, you're going to have less than a day to get rid of all your loot. Be sure to go spend it and enjoy one of the best event stores as far as free-to-play loot payout that there has ever been. My name is UltimatDjz, here for the Teaching Trek video and the Teaching Trek YouTube and the Talking Trek podcast, saying thank you very much. We'll catch you on the next one. Meow for now, everybody. Love you, and mwah, mwah, mwah. Love your hugs and kisses. Bye, everybody. Meow.